Hey, I'm Mike from Asynt, and today I'm going to give a quick overview of all of the different accessories and customizations that you can make to your ReactoMate setup to make it absolutely optimal for your applications. There are lots of different things to consider, so I'll just run through them step by step. The first thing that makes a big difference in how the vessels will perform are the choice of side arms and the fittings that attach to the side arms of your vessel. This vessel on the left has DN15 fittings, and this is a buttress style of glass fitting, whereas the vessel on the right just has GL threaded fittings there, and you simply attach a little plastic hose barb that I'm sure you've seen before in the labs. And essentially, switching to a glass buttress style of sidearm will allow you to connect triple insulated hosing via M16 or M24, M30 connectors directly to your vessel through some form of kind of coupling device here. Whereas with the more simple GL threaded vessels, you just push some tube onto the hose barb and away you go. If we take a look at the DN15 sidearms, we can also make KF15 sidearms as well on all of our vessels. Here I've got an example of the tool-free quick release ReactoMate adapter, and to disconnect your tubing from the vessel you don't need any tools. You simply unscrew this fitting here, and now your vessel is disconnected from the hosing and the circulator. With our ReactoMate datum, you can easily raise up your overhead stirrer, which will stay permanently aligned, and then swap out to a different vessel with our unique clip and click system. So if I have another vessel, I can just come, clip that back in, vessel changed over, bring back down the stirrer. As you can see, it was aligned already. Tighten that up, and then reattach the hosing to the vessel without the need for any spanners or fancy tools. So very easy to use, very easy to switch in and out different vessels. Probably take you less than 5 minutes. Another consideration for our ReactoMate vessels is the choice of bottom outlet valve that you have on your vessel. Both of these vessels have GL threaded ports here, which you can attach a hose barb to, allowing you to drain the vessel into a container of your choice. But you can see that the actual BOV tap, the piston, looks quite different. Here we've got a very simple one. You just unscrew and the piston inside moves down to open it up. But this one here is actually quite a clever bottom outlet valve. If you have some enthusiastic chemists in your lab and potentially they could over tighten the piston, that can lead to damaging the vessel if they really over tighten it. But what this bottom outlet valve has is two pieces that screw into the vessel. So the first piece screws directly into the vessel thread. You can see that here, this kind of coloured piece. And then the white piston screws into that. So if you do have an enthusiastic chemist and they over tighten the white part, all you'll do is damage the slightly coloured part and not your glass vessel. So it's a very neat little bit of kit there, which will save any potential downtime. Obviously you can buy these from Asynt. These are very readily available and quite cheap. Another consideration for ReactoMate vessels is the choice of lid. On the left here we've got a lid made out of PTFE, and on the right we've got a traditional glass lid. Really, choice of lid is often a customer's preference, or down to the specific requirements of their application, whether they can use PTFE or not. But both have their advantages. With the PTFE, one of the great things about a PTFE lid is that you can screw in and out different fittings as you desire. So say you need a B29 fitting for a particular accessory, but a B24 for a different one, you can swap them out as required. Whereas obviously a glass lid is more fixed. But on the flip side, a glass vessel will allow you to go to higher temperatures and you'll get a better seal. You've got less joints here for potential leakages. So if you needed a process that required a much greater, a very low vacuum, pulling a low vacuum in the vessels, then a glass lid might be more suitable for you. One final thing to consider with our ReactoMate setups is the vessel geometry. As we can see here, I've got a vacuum jacketed vessel. So it's got two jackets, a double jacket we would call it, one for the fluid and then a vacuum layer. This provides the vessel with a lot more insulation, which it really helps to improve performance down at those low temperatures. On the right, we've just got a single jacket vessel, and we can see, if we look in closely, the geometry of this vessel is a bit more sausage shaped, whereas this one is much more kind of process style. It's a lot more squat, and if you have a particular height to diameter ratio that you need for your vessel, then we can make the vessels to whatever geometry you require. If you have any questions about the endless choices that we can offer with our ReactoMate systems, then please don't hesitate to get in touch with myself or one of my colleagues by emailing inquiries@asynt.com. Thank you and goodbye.